Welcome back to Popcorn Playback. Today I will show you a horror film from 2021 titled Butchers. Spoilers ahead. In the film Butchers, two brutal brothers named Owen and Oswald Watson serve as the story's major protagonists. Anyone who comes into contact with them is initially slaughtered. In the film Butchers, a family of murderers prey on naive travelers who come into contact with them. The ensuing minutes of bloodshed and mayhem are brutally predictable but completely uninspired. A group of young people find themselves in the sights of this family of criminals who don't hesitate to commit murder, rape, and kidnapping. The opening scene of the film showed the Watson brothers burying their mother in the dead of winter close to their remote home. Owen delivered a half-hearted two-sentence eulogy, talking about how strict but fair she was to them during her lifetime and how she would always handle the situation whenever they got into trouble as boys. Owen could not complete his statement due to being interrupted by a car breaking down near them. They witnessed Stephen's and Celeste's car break down on the nearby country road. Stephen alighted to check what was wrong, and in the meantime, Celeste suspected something was strange with the environment. Owen and Oswald Watson ambushed the young couple whose car had broken down. Behind him, Oswald violently attacked Stephen, killing him with a sickening hammer shot to the head, and Celeste was kidnapped and chained up. Owen introduced some scary concepts and told her she was going to be famous and she was going to be on one of those missing persons posters. He bragged that he was going to put it on his window when they send them out, keep her alive and get intimately acquainted with her. Oswald, on the other hand, dragged Stephen's dead body to the backyard and butchered it into pieces. Then when the action jumps to the summer, it became clear that the Watsons had sexually assaulted and impregnated Celeste. Celeste's acceptance of her seeming fate was so genuine and raw that no one can almost taste the helplessness and anguish that she was not allowed to express. The movie was divided into 3 chapters: the beginning of the end, the middle of nowhere, and the end is here. The beginning of the end. On the same country road, another car broke down carrying 2 couples, Michael and Jenna, and Christopher and Taylor. Birthday girl Jenna seemed to be in a bad mood as they rode. Her mood was attributed to the issue she had with Michael the previous night. The car broke down close to the brothers' workplace, ending their slightly uncomfortable excursion. The 2 couples were the primary focus of the movie, and when their cars broke down, Michael and Taylor had no choice but to seek assistance in the nearest town. Michael was pretty sure there could be a gas station up the road a few miles from them. He asked Jenna if she wanted to walk with him, but she refused. Taylor tried to ease Jenna's mood by asking what was going on. Jenna told her about Michael's lies about where he's been the past weeks. Taylor volunteered to help Michael, and both set out. Chris hung back with Jenna, discussing the use of shit tickets. Observant of her surrounding, Jenna entered the forest, tripped over a wire, alerting Oswald, and found blood on a tree, which seemed like a handprint. Chris disregarded it and told her it might be just a hunter who wiped his bloody hands on the tree. Chris took a look for himself and found it weird too. Amid all this, there are obvious tensions as it was shown that someone has betrayed them by cheating on their individual partners at the first opportunity. Back on the way to a gas station, Michael, who had been cheating on Jenna with a friend, Taylor kissed her roughly and tried to make out with her but stopped halfway when they heard a stuttering sound like that from a camera. Oswald happened to have them captured while they were kissing. Michael and Taylor came across a quiet gas station manned by a cook and his brother, who naturally were keeping a homicidal secret. The building looked ancient and they entered in hopes to find someone they could seek help from. Owen came out from behind to engage them and the duo told them about the help they needed. Owen advised him to call a tow truck. He put a call to Willard and supplied him some information. Back in the car, Chris and Jenna sighted Oswald taking their pictures. Chris took his camera out and tried to get the photographer on his camera. It seemed weird to them. While they await the tow truck, Taylor was getting impatient and told Michael that Owen talked weird. Out of frustration, Taylor got going and asked Michael to pick her up on the way. Owen watched the two through the window from a corner in the building. Owen struggled with the antique which wouldn't budge. Michael saw this and offered to help. Behind his back, while Michael was not watching, Owen picked up an iron tool and violently attacked Michael on the head. Curious to know why a man would take their pictures, Chris and Jenna stepped out of the car to trace Oswald. As a means of defense, Chris got an iron rod from the car trunk, walked a few miles away from their car, and found a photo of them on the ground. When they walked a few meters away too, they found a photo of Michael and Taylor kissing. Jenna returned to get Michael but was told by Owen that he was in the bathroom. After waiting minutes for him to come outside, she went in, and when she wasn't prepared for what was to come, Owen hit her across the face. Owen had Michael chained and hanged in his gas station building as he needed clarity on who Taylor and Jenna were to him. After getting how bad he was, he shocked him with an electric device until he fainted. Chris and Jenna looked at the photo of their two friends kissing, with so much displeasure in their eyes. Oswald jumped in on them out of the bush and attacked Chris, availing Jenna an opportunity to run for her life. She hid behind a tree to escape Oswald, and luckily, he didn't find her. Oswald came back to the road and hit Chris on the head with a rock. Out of desperation to escape, which had made her blind, she called for help to a car driving past, which happened to be Owen driving it. She got in the car as they drove. She continuously looked at her surroundings with caution. They got to his base and Jenna rushed in to make a call, only to find bloody pictures of victims that the brothers had butchered. Owen cornered her and laid some ground rules for her, which she must comply with, else he was going to blow her pretty jaw off. Owen issued strong instructions to let her know the kind of bloody person he was. Owen requested Jenna help in carrying the tied and wrapped Taylor from the car trunk. Celeste, on the other hand, tried to talk but couldn't as her tongue had been cut out. Owen ordered Jenna to get Taylor out, pick her up when she fell while trying to drag her out and throw her over her shoulder. After then, he knocked Jenna out with the butt of his gun. The middle of nowhere. The movie continues with Owen setting the chains ready for the girl's kidnap and Celeste getting feasted on by houseflies. The girl woke up with their legs tied and their hands hanged up. Owen let them in on his caged human ox, developing a taste for warm, soft human flesh and how crazy his brother, Oswald, could be. He did some little introductions and let Jenna aware that Taylor had been carrying on with Michael behind her back. Oswald brought in Chris, and in a way to show the ladies exactly what would befall them if they do not do what they were told to do. Oswald went ahead and tried to twist Chris's head anti-clockwise, and the ladies watched the gory sights and cries in pain. Oswald photographed Chris's dead body, took him outside and cut him up while he was still fresh. Taylor felt ashamed and vomited. Owen splashed a bucket of water on her to make her feel refreshed. While Owen was out and Oswald was not watchful, the ladies successfully freed themselves from the bondages. They escaped through the door and locked Oswald in. Oswald struggled to open the door, and after several attempts, he forcefully unlocked it and set out to look for the girls. While outside, Taylor let Jenna know they called for a tow truck and they run in the direction where their car broke down. They were glad the tow driver, Willard, was still there. They got in their car and the tow truck moved. While in the car, Taylor thanked Jenna for getting them out of there and didn't bring up her issue with Michael because Jenna was disinterested. Willard, who was an uncle to the brothers, happened to be working for the Watson brothers. He pulled the truck to stop at some place in the woods and ordered the girls to get out of the car and start walking. Oswald ran through the woods, caught up with them and sliced Taylor in the chest. He pulled out her intestines out of anger and sliced her severally. Jenna was brought back to the den. Without letting others know, she picked up a small iron rod lying on the floor. Oswald and Willard got into an argument about who caused the shot when Owen was not around. Jenna was locked in the same den as Celeste's. She promised to get Celeste out and untie her with a metal rod. She stopped midway as she noticed footsteps approaching. In a bid to know who was coming, she handed over the rod to Celeste, who stabbed herself and her baby bump with it. Oswald suspected something was wrong and went into the den. He was raged and tearful at the same time. He knocked out Jenna with blows across her face. The end is here. On his way back, Willard made it known to Owen that Oswald was going to fuck things up in a way that wouldn't be fixed. He told them how the ladies had turned the tables on Oswald, how he, Willard locked them in and brought them back, and Oswald slicing one of them up. Owen returned to their base angry and met Oswald groaning. He was affected by Celeste's death. The brothers almost got into a fight, and Owen quickly sang his brother's favorite song as a way to calm him. Owen cleaned the mess up and asked Oswald to take a walk to calm his head. He was glad they didn't need to worry about which one of them is daddy no more. While Owen talked to Celeste's dead body and Oswald out, Jenna woke up, moved to the back side of the house, got to Owen's car, and woke Michael up. Owen carried Celeste to their abattoir ground to cut her up. He referred to her as damn waste. Jen untied Michael quickly so they could get out. Wanting to revenge, Michael picked up Owen's gun in the car and determined to blow the whole place up. He ran into the den and moved past the den steadily, with Jenna following behind. Owen appeared from behind and attacked him. Owen called on Oswald, but Michael blew him up immediately. In return, Willard shot Michael twice and Oswald sliced Willard in the head. Michael said sorry to Jenna and handed her the key to the car. Oswald let loose of the ox and feasted on Michael. Oswald ordered the ox to kill Jenna, which raced after Jenna to the car to feast on her. Okay, that's all the recap for Butchers. Thank you for watching.